Welcome back. New boot day again. As you saw in the thumbnail, I got the Dan Post Oakwood in the house. Oakwood? I just feel like that's what the name kind of suggests when you say it. It sounds like a street in the hood. But that street is made of leather and it just smells up the entire neighborhood. Because that's exactly what this is doing right now. Dang. I love it. I'll be honest with you, like different boots have different leather smells. There are some that are just different. There's a common smell that goes around them all. Dang man, they're so good looking. You can see a little spot there when it was kind of resting on something for its storage, but it's all good. It's all gravy. Dang, what a difference. These are actually really soft and supple. That's unusual for most of the Dan Post boots that I've gotten. I ain't mad at it. Oh, man. So again, there's like a different leather smell. Certain ones have certain leather smells, others have other leather smells. Like, just did a review on the Dan Post Ostrich, and that had a fantastic leather smell. But this one's different, and I prefer this one better. Here, smell. I wish you could smell it. It's man, it's hard for me to put into words, but it's that classic leather smell. There's no point in me trying to explain it other than there's just a different leather smell. And this is that one where you walk into any leather store, you buy a leather jacket, you buy a leather wallet, it's just this classic. And I think it has to do with what kind of leather you're getting. Bovine leather, cowhide leather, and that's probably the same tanning process, depends on the tannery it comes from. Oh man, but it smells so dang good. And of course, as you can see, everything on it is leather, so you're gonna get lots of leather smells. Let me finish this unboxing and then we could talk about it. Okay, what I got for you is the Dan Post Oakwood Cowboy boots. And these are, of course, you already know, it's that cutter toe that really drew me to this look. So right off the bat, I've had the privilege of working with Dan Post as they're sending me boots to check out and review. Now, they are not sponsoring the channel. They are not sending me any money. They're just sending the boots so that I can review them. Obviously, I get to keep them, so there's that. But I'm not getting paid, and it's not a sponsored review. I get to say what I want about the boots. Now, in doing so, I get to pick the boots that I want to review. So I'm obviously going to pick something that I know I'm going to like. And as we've been talking, cutter toe, cowboy heel. And if you're a fan of the channel, if you've been watching any of my videos, you know these are things that I like. So let's get down to the brass tacks. We're talking about a full leather boot, full leather on the vamp and on the uppers, the shaft. We're talking about leather soles and heels. Again, these are not leather stacked heels. These are leather board or compressed leather. It's still leather, it's just not leather stacked, which is more expensive, a little bit higher quality. But you're also not getting a plastic heel. So this is definitely better than a plastic heel. Now, if you're talking about working in them, I can't speak to if they can hold up or not. But for walking around and just wearing them with your clothing, right, for fashion, I guess, then it's fine, completely fine. And this particular boot has a nice, large spur shelf for your jeans. Now, if we take a look at the sole, we see that it's held together by lemonwood pegs and brass tacks or brass nails. Again, like I said, single stitch welt with the white stitching. So this is a very cool casual boot. Now, this is on the darker end because usually I don't wear too many dark boots. I've talked about it before on the channel. I like lighter color boots. I mean, look at everything back there. Everything back there is a lighter color boot. And these over here are actually tan. That's like a very, very light tan. Those are the darkest, those chocolate boots are the darkest brown that I own. And this is about like 2 shades darker than that. These are brown, but they're like on the verge of being black. So this is a dark brown boot, but again, I like it. And you know what I like it with is what I'm wearing is a lighter shade, light wash, blue denim jean. We're talking all leather on the innards as usual when it comes to Dan Post. Even when I thought it was going to be mesh on some of their cheaper boots, it's all leather. So that's pretty fantastic when it comes to their cowboy boots. This is not a hung line boot, so it does have those seams, but it's never a problem with me. I would imagine that they sand it down at the factory because it's never rough and it's never bothered me at all. This is full leather innards on the shaft and in the vamp and on the heel. So we're not talking about their regular soft strike insert. Matter of fact, I don't think, nope. This guy is affixed to the bottom of the boot, so it's not coming out. And then there seems to be like a foam bed affixed to the sole of the boot. So you have, and it's leather topped. So you have a leather top insert that's not coming out. Now, the website is telling me that these heels are 1 inch in height. Now, I just measured them and they're 1.5 inches from bottom to top. And the reason why I'm doing that is Dan Post's website often says that they are a little bit smaller or shorter than what they actually are. And I think what that is that what they're doing is they're measuring it without the rubber heel cap and maybe up to the top of the leather, but not counting the heel rand, which is also on top of here, and that's plastic. So altogether, this is about 1.5 inches if you're counting from top to bottom. Each manufacturer does it different. I'm just saying that because this doesn't look like 1 inch at all. This looks a little bit taller, and it is. So all that being said, the website says 1 inch, and if you measure it from top to bottom, it's 1.5 inches. But you know me, I love a higher heel within reason, because there you can get them too high, and it's like standing on your tiptoes, and we're not trying to do that. I like a higher heel because it just has that more traditional aspect to it. It just looks right as a cowboy boot. Too short, then it just doesn't look or feel like a cowboy boot. So that's one of the things that I love about, you know, heels like this. It's just right. It's not too high. It's not too low. It's perfect. Once again, we're talking about these narrow shafts. They're 13 inches high, which again, I love a 13-inch high shaft because they tend to be narrower. They tend to run along the taper of your legs, so it's not too wide and your pants don't fall into it, and they don't rub really. It's just staying with your foot the whole time. So I really like a nice medium-sized shaft height, because you can get a buckaroo and you can go 15, 16 and higher, and that's too much for me. And these Oakwood boots are made in Leon, Mexico. And one of the things that I forgot to point out is what I really love about Dan Post boots that are different from some of the other boots. Their wrinkle and toe bug is right where it always should be. And it's big. And I love that, because what's a cowboy boot without a wrinkle and toe bug? Now there's a difference, because I want to be clear here. I've talked about the Creed leather boots, which are these two pairs right here in the background. Those are cheaper boots because they're more budget. And so on the website, there's a certain price for them, and then they discount them. So the brown ones, 2 flavors of the brown ones and the black ones you can get for about $159 on the website. And then the gray ones, because it's, I guess, a special color, it's more expensive. But search elsewhere online and you can find them for around the same price. Remember, you don't always have to stick to the website, but if you stick to the website, you can get 15% off if you use my code. Now, all that being said, those guys are made in Vietnam, and this is how you're able to get the discount. As I said in my review, and as I said, remember, I bought those brown ones with my own money, and then they sent me out the gray ones. I said when I bought it with my own money, it's definitely worth it, because for that price point, I was expecting textiled mesh innards, and I got full leather everywhere, outside and inside, and then I got rubber soles and all that good stuff. For that price, brand new on their website, is fantastic. So this is going to be a little bit more expensive. This is made in Mexico, not Vietnam. The price is going to be higher. You're talking about all leather, everything, innards, outers, insoles, everything. Not leather stack heel, but still leather. And this one comes up to a higher price point. So if you're going to buy these off the website, you can get a discount using my code Mike15 at checkout. And you get 15% off. Again, the higher the price, the greater the discount, because it's percentage. So, all that talking, let's see what these guys look like on feet. Yeah, boy, take a look. These are some good looking boots. I love it because it's that narrow square toe, man. I keep saying it over and over again. that narrow square toe is such a classic look, and it looks so good. I'm a fan. I'm actually going to do a video here pretty soon about my favorite pairs of boots, and the majority of those boots are going to be narrow square toe. I could tell you that already. Look at that heel, man. That heel looks great, and it is stacking just fine. Oh, and that contrast looks good. That dark brown with those light wash jeans, it looks fantastic. Now with this color of boot and this shade, I think these are those kind that are going to patina as you bend and crease them. So let's try that out right now. Nice little bend in the foot. Yep. And so there's slight discoloration, which we call patina. And I like it. I actually like it. These are leather bottom soles, so if you needed to slide across the dance floor, you certainly can. These are nice and slippery. Just remember, if you're going out and you're wearing these for the first time, I always scratch them up on the cement floors just to make sure I got a little bit of grip. And that is it for my review of these Dan Post Oakwood boots. Oakwood! I just can't help. Okay, so I'm gonna stop. That's my review for these Oakwood boots. These are fantastic looking boots. I think they don't have another color, but they definitely used this silhouette in another pair of boots that are actually more shiny and have a double stitch welt, but the same silhouette, and they just have a different top that actually has color to it. So search around on their website if you're wanting something more traditional, shiny, but again, you can't beat this silhouette. It is fantastic. And just remember, like the scripture says, on the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let everything be established. Don't just take my word for it. Listen to other reviews. Look at other people writing their reviews on Amazon or anywhere else where you can find reviews. Get other people's opinion so that you can make a buying decision. Now, I'm here to be that resource, but don't just base everything off of me, okay? Make sure that you're getting more than just one voice so that you can get it. Now, I understand this is why I started the channel, because there's so many of these boots that don't have reviews, and I wish that there were. So that's why I'm throwing my voice out there. But also do your due diligence. Make sure you're researching so you can ascertain some of these things, and feel free to ask me any questions in the comments. Like anybody else, I'm a human being. I could forget things, but if you ask questions in the comments, I could definitely answer them, or I could even make another video to address the questions if there's enough of them. All right, that's all I got for you this time, and I will see you guys on the next one.